and a couple of wiper blades in action. So this makes it even a bit more interesting at the moment. Final round of the championship comes right here at the Bend this weekend. Andrew Fisher and Joel Heinrich to lead them around here on this rolling start.
So yeah, it is the yellow machine on the left, the Camaro of Joel Heinrich, South Australian, knows this track very, very well. Alongside him, Andrew Fishtail Fisher, as he used to be known in his V8 Ute days, but look a little bit further behind.
Bit of smoke out beyond the Garwood car. Just have a close eye on that too. I saw a bit of a puff of blue smoke.
Here we go. We're about to go.
At the start.
Racing, and they are pedal to the metal down towards turn number 1. Windscreen wiper already going on the Hansford car. The rest of them not at this stage. They're nearly touching down towards turn 1. Or lock up front left for Hansford in a big way. Now front right. He's not going to make the apex of that corner surely. Oh, he's done an all right job. A little bit wide. 2 wheels through the gravel and tries to slot back into position behind that. Cameron went off the road as well. All 4 wheels off the road. Garwood's got a nice run out of turn number 3. He draws alongside Fisher as they go through the kink, but he has to relinquish that position and slots in behind Hansford before diving back up the inside once again. So, there's contact Garwood into Fisher, and they're both around.
Big damage to the side of Andrew Fisher's Tirana there as the rear of the Commodore there of Adam Garwood slams into the side of the spinning Tirana.
That's got huge championship implications, that is for certain.
So, big damage for the first time down there at turn 6. Car's up and running, which is good to see. There's another slowing car behind it. Caught the end of that. And Danny Bazarzik there trying to put a pass down on Hansford too. So the 2 Tiranas going at it down the back part of the circuit.
Hansford was lucky to stay out of that mayhem and the melee down at the turn number 6 hairpin. Did a great job to avoid all of what was going on. It looks slippery to me. It's raining out there on the circuit. They are sliding all over the shop at the moment. And Zukanovic has come into the lane before even starting this race. So
I'm just looking at the windscreen of our broadcast van here. Yes, it is raining. Absolutely no doubt, and that's the reason.
Lock up.
For the handling difficulties in these race cars. Tricky, they've got through there okay. Heinrich's left him for dead, he's gone.
Yeah, out in front, he's pulled out a significant margin. Hansford comes around. Big sideways moment for Cameron once again. As they come across the line to complete lap number 1, it's Heinrich by 4 seconds from Hansford. Here's a replay then. Garwood, the championship leader, up the inside of Hansford, but locked up and tapped Andrew Fisher as well. And then there was contact. His right rear into the door of Fisher. Fortunately, though, that's cosmetic, and they will both be able to continue. But the rain is intensifying. It's really heavy down there at turn number 3. You can see on the cameras now. So Heinrich is comfortable out front, but the fight for second is well and truly on. Bazadzik, Hansford, and Scott Cameron in position number 4. Here comes Hansford up the inside of Bazadzik into the hairpin. Just pulls his nose out at the last minute. That door was being firmly closed in his face, so decided to err on the side of caution and slot back in behind. But to me at the moment, Hansford looks the most comfortable of this trio in these conditions.
Doesn't mind a bit of wet stuff. Danny Bazarzik there in the Western Union entry there. Under the hammer here, fans. You can see the spots at our cameras there too, so quite significant at the moment. Rain was forecast about the time of the afternoon, so windscreen wipers well and truly in operation there on Hansford's car. And those 2 fighting it out at the moment for second and third position. Dean Lilly aboard the Brute 33 entry here this weekend.
It's been a really attritional first lap. I just saw Cameron Tilley's left the lane. Garwood has not come back around. Crucially, the series leader has not come back around in his Commodore. Jamie Tilley out there as well. He's come into the lane. Zukanovic and Karen Folowski did not make the start. So it's all happening. Bazadzik in a bit deep at turn 17. He runs wide. Hansford gets the run into the final corner.
Cameron got unsettled there too behind that pair. Just saw them even behind. Hansford cuts across there at the moment. as they spread out in the heat haze. Hard to believe this heat haze because with a little bit of rain falling here at the moment. Marcus Zakanovic was also a non-starter here too. And there's another car just headed into the pit. I think there was Jamie Tilley there in the background. Just come into pit lane there.
They continue.
Go back to these other pair. So Bazazic and Hansford's fighting it out. Here's the second position. He's got Cameron coming into the fray too now from Hansford. He's trying to get a pass down too. That's in fourth position. And a bit further back to Dean Lilly, but this is where the second, third, and fourth positions on track on our screen at the moment. Bazazic driving pretty defensively at this very moment as they're over the crest there and they head out towards turn 7. Bit of a hill there, the consecutive 3 right-hand turns. Multi-spare trucks past entry there, Hansford.
So Hansford's made his way past a couple of times on Bazazic, but he's not been able to break away. Bazazic has been able to respond and reclaim that position once again. So we'll see this time if he can make it stick and keep it. Or Cameron, so sideways on the wet curbing out of Crofty Corner. That is so treacherous. You do not want to be touching the wet curbs in these conditions on slick tyres, that is for certain. But look behind, Dean Lilly is coming into the fight as well in the Brute Mustang. Look at the understeer from Bazazic. The front end is just not turning. Look at the steering lock he's having to put in at the moment. Hansford's car looks a little bit better in the front, but maybe a little bit more loose in the rear. But he can control that with his throttle, whereas Bazazic just has to wait and wait and wait to get on the power. So look at that, particularly to turn like turn number 17, costs him a lot of time as they come around the corner. The final corner once again, Heinrich out front by nearly 8 seconds. We'll see the margin as they come across the line. It's now 10 seconds down the road from these two in this fantastic scrap for second as Hansford comes back up the inside once again, and he does. Has he got it settled though, or has he run a little bit wide and allowed the cutback for Bazazic? No, this time he appears to have got it sewn up. So Hansford moves up into position number 2 on the road, Bazazic third. Then we have Cameron, and Dean Lilly is not too far behind. He's waiting and watching and slowly vying himself into this battle pack as well. But hard under brakes for Bazazic. You can see Cameron closing in under brakes in the white line Camaro. Look at that. The only a couple of car lengths around the hairpin. This is fantastic racing. Garwood is going, so he is registering on the timing now, which is really good news. That's great for his points. Just getting any points will be beneficial potentially come the end of the weekend. He's got a over a race advantage, has Garwood, but that will be slashed in this race. Although Jamie Tilley, the man in second, is in the lane as well. So this benefits Ryan Hansford, who's position number 3 in the series at the moment. So Hansford, this is a good start to the weekend for him. Adam Garwood, a former series champion. And it's great to see as well, you know, this really was a veterans category. The old folk coming and driving the old cars, but not these days. There's a lot of youngsters. Joel Heinrich, Ryan Hansford. The list just goes on and on and on. Jamie Tilley. It really is becoming more of a youngsters category these days.
Yeah, a few of them have simply passed the baton on. There's no doubt about that. Cameron there up behind, Bazazic there. So trying to get another position in. This is for third position on track. And they've got screaming down the long main straight here. Nearly a kilometre long here at this venue. So plenty of the big V8 power comes into play here, heading down to turn 1.
Oh, huge
Cameron,
lock-up, huge lock-up.
Yes, he gets up on the inside. Bazazic a little bit wide down there at turn 1. And the switchback move gets done down towards turns 2 and 3. And Cameron gets up into third position on track.
That was
Dean Lilly not too far away either. I just saw that green Mustang and there it is. With the green headlights ablaze there. He's driving fairly patiently. Obviously no Steve Johnson here this weekend.
That was a scorched right.
Drive.
That was a scorched right front for Danny Bazazic. And yeah, saw him run wide at turn 1 and allowed the 85 through of Cameron, who's been pretty fast so far this weekend. Not quite as fast as his teammate up the front of the field, but now sitting in a solid 3rd position nevertheless. So really good to see him coming on strong late on this season. Does he have anything to go with Ryan Hansford is the next question. If I look at their last laps, he was a couple of seconds slower, but he did not have clear air at that point in time. Fisher's back on the circuit, albeit missing a bit of door skin on the left front door there in the Jesus All About Life Racing Tirana. But yeah, nice recovery from him, and Garwood is in the position directly behind him as well. Fisher, last time through, fastest lap of the race. In fact, pretty much everybody set their PB last time through as he swings to the inside. Fisher up the inside of Dean Lilly and makes it stick, runs a little bit wide. Lilly will have the cutback now for the final corner, but I think he'll slot back in behind. It's hard to make a move unless you are really ahead into the final corner. You don't really want to lunge up the inside into what is a fast, high-speed corner. But yeah, they are setting PBs and fastest laps of the race, despite the windscreen wipers going. So I think the rain might be just diminishing just a little bit, which is good news. A big lock-up for Fisher into the first corner, but he's able to keep it on the tarmac, on the black stuff, which is good news. This race is absolutely flown by. We've only got now 4.5 minutes left in the book. So it's Heinrich that leads the way by 12.8 seconds from Ryan Hansford. Cameron is just a second and a half back from him. But we're looking at Fisher, who slides up the inside of fellow Tirana driver Bezadzik. A little bit of a lock-up from one of them. But Fisher with the inside line just forces Bezadzik onto the dirty stuff. You could see the dirt and debris being flicked up offline. Not many cars have been out there so far this weekend. It is very mucky out there, and he's able to slide on through. So that's 2 places in about half a lap for the flying Andrew Fisher. Next on his list, a podium position. It's Cameron ahead of him as Dean Lilly ranges in on the back of the Tirana of Bezadzik.
Not wrong about Andrew Fisher, he's absolutely flying. You're only going to get half the door there on the left-hand side, but he's recovered beautifully, and he's already got away from Danny Bezadzik there as he's got past him. So, look at that, of Garwood behind. I think he might have a little bit of tyre rub. I saw that in the back of the screenshot there a little earlier on from that earlier incident there with Andrew Fisher. Dean Lilly now under the attack now and trying to get past Danny Bezadzik there. Bezadzik there very much shuts the door in his face down there at turn number 17. Tightens up there quite considerably. So they'll come out the other side towards 18, which is the final turn as we head down the main straight. Joel Heinrich in a world of his own. In fact, 13.6 seconds for the first and second position. He's absolutely cleared out. So, still Hansford in second position. There he is. Cameron, that hasn't changed too much. Certainly Fisher there, but Dean Lilly's the one we're looking at here, the Brute 33 retro livery there. It's a very famous livery, made famous by only Alan Moffat back in the day.
Well, both of these two are as well. The one ahead of it, the Bezadzik car as well, the Craven Mild livery.
Craven Mild were on everything.
Yeah, correct.
Well, they had sponsorship of just about every race car you could think of. They're very prolific in not only touring cars and sports sedans back in the day. So Dean Lilly there filling in there this weekend. Of course, we mentioned Steve Johnson not on board here this weekend. Just sticking to his guns. We're on board car number 2. And
down the hill,
which is the Bezadzik Tirana, which is mentioned in the Pro-Am class. Driving pretty defensively at the moment with that car behind him. And Dean Lilly trying to apply the pressure.
Garwood's catching Lilly, Bezadzik and Fisher as well at a vast rate of knots, so don't rule out Garwood. There he is.
Notice you have a fair bit of rear panel damage on that car. Let's see if we can pick that up. You can see that little bit of smoke just at the back. That's a bit of tyre rub on that back quarter panel from that earlier incident there with Andrew Fisher. And doesn't seem to be affecting the performance of the car too much.
Hasn't Garwood had a great season? You know, raced in Touring Car Masters several seasons ago, but these days now running the car run by McLeod back in the day. As up the inside goes Lilly on Bazadzik. Really nice pass, that one. Really clean, really nicely executed. Not a puff of a brake lockup, didn't run wide in any way, shape or form. That is a perfectly executed move as Garwood slides out sideways over the ripple strip on the outside of the circuit. But what I was going to say about Garwood, it's been a superb season for him. 4 race victories along the way. He's been very consistent on his bad days. He's limited the damage like he is today, you know. Had that spin early on that collision with Fisher, but he's making up the lost ground. He's moving back through the field once again and limiting the damage, while his closest championship rival, Jamie Tilley, is in the lane. He's going to be a DNF. So that just shows how the young Tasmanian has put his series together.
Very well said there, Dan. And the clock heads down towards the 0 mark, so we're probably only a lap to go here to get towards the end of this race one. So quite entertaining, especially for Joel Heinrich, who's been left alone in front, but then we've got all the placings behind him between Hansford, Cameron, Fisher and Dean Lilly. And another one that's going to come into that group is this bloke here, Adam Garwood. He's picked up, you can just clearly see the back panel damage from that shot on the camera there. And he's got Danny Bazarzik well and truly in his sights here. Oh, and he goes straight past him. And probably gives him a bit of a wave as he goes past, if you don't mind.
Around the outside
at ease.
Well, around the outside at turn 11, either Bazadzik must have ran wide and put a couple of wheels through the grass at turn number 10 for that to be able to happen. It's either a run wide at the previous corner or some sort of mechanical drama, which I don't think there is, but that's brave. Although, actually, no, he's dropped off. Bazadzik has dropped off. There is a mechanical drama. I just saw him in the back of the shot there, Dan. Yeah.
It looks like the car was actually slowing quite considerably. Checker flag is out. And there's our race victor there in Joel Heinrich.
Very nicely done from Joel Heinrich. That's his 3rd race victory of the season, and at home in South Australia as well. What more could you want? Ahead of Cameron Tilley, who was a lap down. Hainsford comes across the line in position number 2, but they're side by side for 3rd. It's a drag race to the line. Fisher has stolen it. He's stolen it by just 0.4 of a second at the line.
Garwood, but it's about to do the same. Let's have a look here behind them. Who ended up in front there? Did Lilly get there?
Yeah, Lilly just held on by less than 0.4 of a second.
In the placings there, a bit further back.
Never over until it's over.
Danny Bazarzik is limping across the line there, so he's obviously got a mechanical issue there. And he's just going to crawl across underneath the checkered flag there and just get home.
Brad Tilley on his return to the series this weekend in position number 8. And then behind that, the Tirana of David Hender, who's overtaken Peter Burnett on that final lap.
Actually, where's Peter Burnett?
Yeah, that is the question. Maybe Burnett's come to a stop. Here is where we are, around an hour southeast of Adelaide. It's the Shell V-Power Motorsport Park, a stone's throw from the town of Tailem Bend. As you say, this layout, 18 corners, lots and lots of action zones. Turn number 1 is one of those. We can go a million cars wide, frankly. It's such a wide piece of tarmac and a great place for overtaking. But you can stay 2-3 wide through the opening sequence of corners. As we say, this was an action zone yesterday in Touring Car Masters. Garwood and Fisher coming together at turn number 6, the hairpin. And then this is a track that we haven't seen too much this weekend. 8, 9, 10, the never-ending sequence of right-handers, then the flick left, then around turn 12, Crofty Corner, before the rise of turn number 13. And then into what I refer to as the stadium section, through the fishbowl at turn number 15, and come towards the end of the lap. The really tighter than 90-degree turn number 17. We saw a hell of a lot of action there yesterday, most notably in the XLs, and then the fast sweeping turn number 18 to finish the race. There are a couple of retirements yesterday. Markus Ukanovic did not make the start of the race. Broken rear suspension mount for him. Good to see that XD Falcon is back out on the circuit Meanwhile, Jamie Tilley, who was second in the championship going into yesterday, he suffered front suspension damage. So a bit to report on in Touring Car Masters yesterday. I have to thank Rowan Harmon for getting me that information, as I've been stuck in the commentary box alongside you, Mark, for much of the weekend. So Rowan Harmon, a man who's been around this category for many, many years. So thanks to him for that. But we're about to get set and get ready to go in this one. Race number 2 of their weekend. They've got another one just before midday here in Adelaide. So it's a quick turnaround for these guys. They want to keep it nice and clean in this race. On the left-hand side, we have Joel Heinrich. On the right-hand side of the camera shot, in the Tirana, it's Ryan Hansford. As they come to the start line, Touring Car Masters is set to go. Rolling start. The lights are about to go out. We can see it from the onboard of Garwood, and there they go. Very even jump on the first 2 rows. I think Garwood's got the best of the lot. We've already got past Fisher, and he's going to make it 3 wide. He's going to fire around the outside down towards turn number 1. We are 3 wide. Hansford's going the long way. He's going to be muscled out there, though, by Heinrich, and Fisher's actually benefited back up the inside, and he snatched second place back off his fellow Tirana driver. If we look further back through the field, it's Jamie Tilley that we are on board with. He's alongside Zukanovic, so the 2 cars that retired yesterday back out on the track, making their way through the field. Oh, that was Garwood, a big twitch as he tried to dart to the inside into the hairpin. Hansford covers that one off into turn number 6. Garwood gets on the power, up through the gearbox. Really nice through there, but pretty much as they were then at the start of this one. Heinrich from Fisher, he's moved up 1 place ahead of Hansford. Garwood, the championship leader, looking to take his maiden title here today in Touring Car Masters. The Tasmanian, he's done so well in that Commodore this season, and he's pressuring former series champion Ryan Hansford, who's forced to defend down into turn number 13. The blind sweeping turn number 13. Garwood is certainly close, but not close enough for a move at the moment. But an exciting opening exchanging corners, Mark.
Certainly was. What a great on-board shot there out of Garwood in the Commodore there. Listen to that thing roar. And he's on the challenge too, because he's got Hansford right in front of him, trying to get underneath him, not to be got Cameron also behind in that trio of cars. So those cars on board again. Trying to get behind Ryan Hansford there on the final turn there, turn 18 of the complex. So down the main straight they come, using every last bit of the horsepower of these power machines. So Heinrich in front. Andrew Fisher probably looking for a new door skin after yesterday after getting that one knocked off, and that's been repaired. And there's the bloke that knocked the skin off, Adam Garwood there. So on board camera, and he's right up the back, around the outside there of Hansford, looking for a pass there.
Looking for the crisscross, a good exit, and that is exactly what he's got. He jinks to the inside before turn 5. You don't want to go too wide here, and Hansford decides to relinquish that position. A wise decision, and immediately though later on the brakes forces Garwood back to the inside, but he can't leave the door open because Cameron is right there as well in the number 85 white line Camaro. And Danny Bazadzik vying into the fight as well. Bazadzik has taken a fair few race victories this season, 4 in total, 3 coming in trophy races. Unfortunately, there were no reverse grid trophy races this weekend, just 3 rather than the regular 4 that they're used to in Touring Car Masters. So Bazadzik really was the loser in that. He's won 3 of the 5 trophy races so far this season.
So someone that didn't start yesterday was Tony Karafalowski, also at the rear of the field. Good to see that power also back. Cameron there, all over the back there of Ryan Hansford. So some good fighting here amongst the places. And right up the back there, one of the 2 Bob Middleton-owned race cars in this field, as you would normally see in this series. Scott Cameron all left, right, trying to find a pass, trying to outwire Hansford there. We'll be well and truly looking in the mirrors there, down there at turn 17. A bit of dirt on the track there too, because it was quite dusty there in that camera shot. So that might make things a little bit slippery down there. around turn 18. And Cameron on the inside down the main straight. They'll try to, but Hansfield went with him. They actually changed sides. So this will give Hansford the advantage down to turn 1.
Cameron's later on the brakes, though. I can hear a brake lock-up. It's from Hansford.
Oh, there was contact, and there it is. Oh, it's chaos. Cameron's been turned. So a bit of return serve there. Gee, Dean Lilly very fortunate to get through that scrimmage too. You can see the Brute 33 Mustang go through the cloud of smoke.
I think he erred on the side of caution because he immediately lit it up there, did Cameron. Just smoke everywhere, and Lilly decided to dart left to avoid any sort of car that was anywhere around turns 1 and 2. But Bazadzik's been the big benefactor of that. He's gained 2 positions just by staying out of trouble. But you could see Cameron was mighty late on the brakes on the outside. Hansford tried to hold the inside, but you could hear that lock-up, and then you could see the lock-up. Contact was made. It was just the slightest of slight touches, but it was enough to turn Cameron around, and here it is. It was just a tiny tap, but around went Cameron, and you can see the damage, the witness mark proving that Hansford made contact.
Look at Dean go through there. Bit of rally style. A bit more to the carnage there.
Certainly was, but Hansford now has recovered quickly, and he's on the tail of Bazadzik. Will a penalty be coming? I'm sure the stewards will be potentially looking at that one. As we can see, Fisher coming under pressure from Garwood. This is the fight for second position. Out in front, Heinrich has bolted, fastest lap of the race on lap number 2, and I think he will do the same again as well at the end of lap number 3. Timed races here at the Shell V-Power Motorsport Park, not laps but time, and there's 9 minutes left on the clock. It was another fastest lap of the race by Joel Heinrich, a 2-minute .2, nearly 2 seconds faster than Fisher, and around a second and a half faster than Garwood, as we can see the flames as he goes down through the gearbox. Bazadzik defensive in too deep, brakes, rear brakes locked up for the Tirana driver in the sort of retro livery of a well-known brand, Mild Craven, but he was all locked up there. Looks like he has just about got away with it. We look, though, at this car. Boy, oh boy, does this car have a cult following.
The valiant pacer there of Cameron Tilley. Been a long time runner in this series. Originally started as 6-cylinder, and then changed it over, put the full-blown V8 in that car.
A controversial decision at the time.
It was.
But no, it's still as loved as ever.
As I said, a bit of a cult following amongst that car. On board here, the 29 car, Jamie Tilley. So out there in the all-black Mustang, currently back a bit further in the field. It's got the Falcon in front of him, that's Marcus Academic. Just in front of him, who didn't start yesterday with those issues that we discussed earlier. In the XD Falcon, a bit of a later model compared to some of the other cars in the field. Which does now fit into this era of racing.
That's right.
That's a real low-budget family affair that the Academic family have a lot of time and effort into that race car, and obviously some issues yesterday to start off proceedings.
As you say, they opened up the sort of years that you could race, opened up to the 1980 now, so that's why we've seen XD Falcons and the Commodore as well of Garwood from the same era, the very original Commodore that, of course, Jim Richards and Peter Brock took to Bathurst success in 1980. So it's good to see that they are moving and changing the rules as the years go by.
A little bit of smoke at the back of the Academic's Falcon there too. I just caught that on the inboard, the onboard there in Tilley's car. See if we can catch that again. Just under brakes there. Might be just a little bit of tyre rub. And look at Dean Lilly. Got Bazadzik also in front of him with another challenge.
Hansford's got through that lap. So on that last lap, Hansford has moved up to position number 4 and ahead of Bazadzik. And Dean Lilly is now on his tail. Dean Lilly subbing in for Stephen Johnson again this round. He has done several, he did the last round at Sandown as well, when they were a support category at the Sandown 500. That was their last round. It was several months ago now. They've had a big break between the penultimate round.
Back in September.
It's the final round, exactly right. So, as we look, Garwood really closing in on the back of Fisher there, nearly scraping in front of his car on the tail of Fisher's as he's looking to get a nice run out the corner, out of Crofty Corner. He's got a nice run, but Fisher was wise to that one, sort of covering it off on the exit of the corner. Back down through the gearbox, flames flicking out the side of the Garwood Commodore. Tirana versus Commodore. Of course, we didn't see this too much in the Australian Touring Cars because the Commodore was the replacement of the Tirana in the late 70s and early 80s. Where can Garwood make the move? He is clearly the faster of the two. But look at the wheel work from the youngster. He is really ragging the thing around. It's cool to see. You always see these cars being fought hard. They are heavy machines. But boy, oh boy, do they have a lot of power these days. A lot more than when they were first made back in the day.
Not quite the original good Benz.
No.
Certainly
no.
So Garwood still on the tail there of Fisher. Now here we go. He decides he gets a bit untidy under brakes there. And look at the big flame out the side under brakes, all that unburnt fuel that makes its way down through the exhaust manifold. There it goes again, but gee, a little bit squirrely under brakes there, so...
A little bit.
An
understatement of the century, that.
This is a little bit. Could be worse. So really leaning on the brake pedal a little bit later than probably would have liked. Just trying to get a pass here from Andrew Fisher. Great shot. You can hear the roar of that Commodore V8. Absolutely tear down the back part of the circuit. And Fisher's just got away. These two came together, remember, yesterday. Got a replay here. What's happening here? Cameron around, and that's the 12th car. That's Peter Burnett.
So I think that was the case of Burnett was in deep. Cameron wanted to make the move. He went in even deeper, and they both ended up running wide and off the track. Cameron spinning around. Fortunately for Burnett, he's able to keep things facing in the right direction, but both lost a hell of a lot of time trying to outwit each other and ended up outwitting themselves.
Look at these two, still at it. Garwood's thrown everything but the kitchen sink there at Andrew Fisher.
I think the kitchen sink's being saved to be thrown at in the last 3 minutes of the race.
I think so. Here we go. Down the hill they come. Under brakes. No, that's turn 17. A little bit tight there. It's a very deceptive corner. A puff of smoke at the back of the Commodore of Garwood's. Just under brakes there. I think that's any major issue at the moment. Now the drag race down the main straight. Here they go. Listen to this. Full noise. Boom! They rip past the commentary position here. Here we go. Same thing. Garwood on the inside. Big flame out. But not quite close enough. Pretty much an instant replay from the previous lap.
Fisher strong under brakes, isn't he? Garwood really gets the run, gets the momentum, but Fisher just outbrakes the Commodore every single lap and is able to hold on to the position. That smoke's persistent, but it's only small. There's not a lot of it, so hopefully no damage being done anyway. Hopefully he'll be able to make it to the end of this race. Fisher slightly defensive down there into the hairpin. I think he thought Garwood was a little closer than what he actually was. Garwood is throwing everything at it last time through. The pair of them just 0.02 of a second between their lap times. Both of them 2:02.9s. Out in front though, 2 minute 0.5 for Joel Heinrich out in front. But we look a little bit further back for the fight for fifth. Bazadzik. Oh, look at the understeer of that Tirana through the back section of the course. The sweeping right-handers. The steering lock that was put in, and look at the way the car is swaying over to one side. The lead in that car certainly doesn't look like it's suffering from too much oversteer. It's all understeer in the Danny Bazadzik Tirana at the moment. We Dean Lilly coming at him. As I said, Dean Lilly still subbing in for Stephen Johnson in the Brute 33 Mustang. Dean Lilly fourth.
Here we go.
The last round.
It's still on here, still under brakes, down at 17. That smoke's got a little bit denser in the back of the Garmin car. I just noticed there on that lap. Just that rear shot from that camera down there at 17. So doesn't seem to be affecting the performance too much.
He had a huge slide coming onto the pit straight, and that allowed Fisher just to pull a couple of car lengths. The intensity is lifting in this fight. How brave is Garwood going to be this time? He knows this time he's not close enough, and that was all because of the exit out of the final corner. I'm looking at Hansford at the moment. He's not catching these two. He's pretty much matching them, if anything, slightly slower. So it is very much a two-horse battle at the end of this race for position number 2. And Garwood is once again applying the pressure. He's going to try and get a good run through the fast-sweeping left-hander, which he did. Still not close enough into the hairpin. Oh, Fisher locked up the left front late in the turn, an unforced error, and through goes the number 2 of Adam Garwood, the Tasmanian. He was left the Commodore's gap and he filled it. Oh, Fisher will be kicking himself with that one. He'd done so well up to that point, but mid-corner it just locked up on him and he drifted wide at the apex. Crucially, Garwood slid up the inside and stole that position from him. Here's a replay from outboard. It all looked all right for Fisher, but then it looked just late on in the turn, a lock-up, and it just put him just that little bit wide.
Just that little bit. That's all it takes. Garwood now gets himself up into second position on track. Finally, he's been peppering away lap after lap. So that little mistake has let open the door and now starts to put that margin away. You can see now starting to get away from Fisher at this moment. So the car's definitely got more pace. There's no doubt about that. See Hansford just there in the background there. He's got the pace to match the other two. Look at that smoke coming back in the Garmin's car there.
Checkered flag is
Checkered flag
at the ready for our race leader. Joel Heinrich takes the race victory. The lap Tirana is crossing the line second, but it is that Commodore in second position. Garwood, very nicely done from him to finish in position number 2, ahead of Andrew Fisher. And if he hasn't sealed it there in that one, Adam Garwood is mighty, mighty close now to taking that inaugural title. I will get confirmation between races, but that is pretty much sealed now for Adam Garwood. Fisher coming across the line in position number 3. Hansford 4th, Bazadzik rounding out the top 5 ahead of Dean Lilly and Marcus Zukanovic. A good recovery from Zukanovic, it must be said, up to 7th position. This car, Jamie Tilley, doesn't sound to me like it's running particularly on song.
No, he hasn't found too much pace in that race.
No, that's not right at all.
No, not at all. In fact, it's right off, I think, with the sound of that. So there's the official results. Heinrich, Garwood, Fisher, Ryan Hansford, Danny Bazadzik, Dean Lilly, Marcus Zukanovic, good effort there. Cam Tilley, Tony Karafalowski from the back of the field there in front of Peter Burnett. So he's made up a stack of ground there. Didn't start in the first race yesterday. That's the top 10.
Basically sealed the deal in the last race, taking his maiden Touring Car Masters title. So provisionally he has that, barring any points penalty or anything in this one. So provisionally Adam Garwood is the 2024 champion. He can go out and enjoy this one and try and take the fight to the yellow machine, the Camaro, the White Line racing car. Alongside him, Joel Heinrich, the local man, and then the 2 Tiranas on row number 2. Andrew Fisher in the red Jesus All About Life Tirana, and alongside him, Ryan Hansford, a former series champion in 2022. We're about to get underway for the final time. Lights go out. A lovely smooth start by Garwood immediately off the line as we roar, particularly in Touring Car Masters, down towards turn number 1. Very even jump from much of them up the front of the field. Fisher's trying to slot in there, fill the nose up alongside Garwood. but that's cost him momentum out of the corner. Should be able, though, to hold on to third position, so the top 4 stay in formation. Zukanovic's moved up to position number 5, and that's because Dean Lilly has lost out a position. So Dean Lilly, the Mustang, in front, side by side with Cameron Tilley, and on board now with Jamie Tilley up the inside. It's a Tilley affair. We've got 3 Tilleys, Brad and Cameron, and the newer generation, Jamie Tilley, out there in the Mustang. We're on board at the moment. Nice exit on the, makes a move on the Valiant pace. You can see him on and off the throttle all the way down the hill in first gear, just modulating the throttle down there.
It certainly is. Making a car shot there too. So you get the last race of the season here for Touring Car Masters, well and truly underway here. You mentioned there, Garwood already with the title sealed, but he's still got a race to win. That's the important thing, and it's going to be Joel Heinrich, Garwood in that order, Andrew Fisher, Ryan Hanson, all nose to tail inside this first lap. We're running on the international circuit here in these races this weekend, the 4.95 kilometre circuit. Certainly the circuit that I've called most of my races on here in this particular circuit. And there's the in-car shot there with Adam Garwood, the Tasmanian-based driver. Looks like, well, he will take out this title this season. And behind Joel Heinrich, back at his home track here this weekend. Leading them around here. Hansford on the back, the 2 firing. Oh, Fisher a little bit tail there. Out there on the final turn, gave Hansford a fairly decent look in there. And he might be able to get up alongside of him over the crest here at turn 1. And I think he might get the pass done. Round the outside. Oh, they're locked horns together. Oh, someone else.
Oh,
was that Tilley skirmish under brakes here in the 29 car in the black Mustang. And Cam in the Valiant Pacer right up behind him in that incident. Anything too major. Inside the car now here of Jamie Tilley, full left-hand drive, 1966 Mustang body style car. Fisher on the inside. The 2 Tiranas going hammer and tongs there down at turn 6. He's shot at the moment with Hansford just in front there of Fisher. And made full total advantage there of the hairpin there at turn 6. And he starts to draw away 2 very muscle-bound cars, big, tough-looking Tiranas in this series. They've been popular in recent years. The Tiranas have certainly made a comeback. John Bowell certainly one of the main instigators of that in this series. Now, sports retired.
How weird was it though, seeing John Bow after all the years in V8 supercars at the wheel of Fords, for him to go to Holden? It was a bit of a stab in the back, I think, for many people watching at home. But
good old days of Mustang Sally, of course.
Yes.
Many series competed in this series. Now let's go back here. We can see Tilley on board here at the moment. Got Dean Lilly in front of him. That's the Brute 33 Tribute livery Mustang there. And it was Zarzik just in front of the general Bodyworks entry there going through. It actually represents the old Craven Fielder days.
Oh, lovely.
Very iconic livery on that car. But here we go, pass down. Oh, you can see how tight it gets on that final corner, on that apex. We get right yourself right up on the curving there. Head down the main straight, and the V8 power roars down the main straight here at the bend.
That was a lovely manoeuvre from Tilley, the way he got the exit, but unfortunately it hasn't paid dividends, and he's now coming under pressure from Cameron Tilley directly behind. Again, Brad Tilley has not made the start of this one in his GTHO Falcon, unfortunately. That's a real shame, because he's not doing all the rounds these days, but it's great to see him back here this weekend, and a shame that his weekend ended after Saturday. And speaking of races that are ending, the number 4, the Northside Taxis machine of Alan Hughes has now come into the lane as well. So a couple of cars fallen by the wayside early on in this one. But a great scrap in the midfield. Out in front, Heinrich leads the way by 1.5 seconds from Adam Garwood. Ryan Hansford in position number 3 ahead of Fisher and Zukanovic. At the moment, Hansford and Fisher are pretty close, but we're looking at the fight just behind that between Marcus Zukanovic and the understeering Tirana on there of Danny Bazadzik as well. The XD Falcon of Zukanovic over time, when that debuted, it wasn't particularly strong, but he's got stronger and stronger and stronger round upon round. He's frequently now fighting great victories in that car.
Danny Bazadzik in the General Western Bodyworks entry just behind them. Zukanovic in the XD Falcon, and they're currently running in 5th and 6th position on track. Well, how much longer? See Dean Lilly on the attack too, behind that number 3 Tirana, just in the background. The Group 33 entry. Jamie Tilley's behind them as well, so they're all starting to gain some ground. Tear down underneath the main complex here at SLV Power Motorsport Park. Good look at the big long straight. What's going on there with Andrew Fisher? Has the door come open? It's actually the windshield of the car. It's actually the window is flapping on the left-hand side of that car.
I think that's as a result of the damage yesterday. If you remember, Garwood, they came together at the hairpin, and Garwood ended up going backwards into the door of Fisher. So I just think that that's a result of the impact that was taken there yesterday. But Fisher sweeps on back through, but Hansford doesn't like that. Quick to retaliate, looks to the inside, and Fisher locks up, as he did in the race earlier on the final lap, to lose second position, but he just about holds on. Just about holds on in the Tirana. Say all Tirana fight for third, and they are losing ground to Garwood ahead as a result of that. The race leader though, Joel Heinrich, out in front at the moment. He's doubled his winning tally this weekend. He took 2 wins so far this season. He's doubled that winning tally to 4 this weekend. Really, Joel Heinrich has had the pace all season long, but a couple of DNFs in Race 3 in Darwin have really cost him dearly.
Still Hansford on the attack here from Andrew Fisher. They've been locked together a few times over the weekend. Not much difference here against Tommy Kellis on that window, and that door just really flapping quite violently there, so that might be a bit of an issue for local officials to have a look at. And Dean Lilly under attack now also. Jamie Tilley behind him, Cameron Tilley behind him, and then Scott Cameron in that group. And here we go on board with Jamie Tilley. Lilly on the inside, you can see the big Mustang there. Oh, nice big change up. Gives you a great look at the change up of the gear stick there. And fairly gripped on that gear stick. There's a change up at the fastest part of the circuit down the main straight. And they've come together. Well, I just said just a moment ago they've been close together all weekend. That's probably a little bit too close for comfort, if you don't mind.
And Hansford can't get it out. The wheels are spinning. Oh, yes, he can. There we go.
That's turn 1. That's a turn 1 gravel trap. It's quite deep there, so he might have made the gravel trap.
I heard some big lock-up noises in the headphones as we were looking at the battle further back between these two. And clearly there was a lock-up and contact made between the pair as Tilley slides up the inside. Jamie Tilley came into this weekend second in the series. This round has not gone his way in any way, shape or form, but it's been a really strong year for him, a year that he can build upon going into 2025. So look for Jamie Tilley in the older spec Ford Mustang next year to really be a title contender. Dean Lilly, the super sub in the Brute Mustang directly behind. Hopefully we'll see Stephen Johnson back again in 2025 to see out the full season in that car. Immaculately presented machine is the Brute Mustang, a really popular car amongst the crowd. Of course, the son of the legendary 5-time Australian Touring Car Champion Dick Johnson. And it must be pretty surreal for him to race against JB, or back in the day racing against JB, and knowing that his father shared the 2 Bathurst wins with him. It's a pretty cool synergy that the Johnsons and the Bows have. But let's focus on this battle. It is certainly closing up here between Jamie Tilley and Danny Bazadzik. Besadzik again, just the understeer. I've commented on it all weekend long. Never looks comfortable around the fast sweeping corners. It just understeers like a boat. And here we go into the first corner. Is anyone close enough for a move? Another lockup. Who is that? Is that Danny Besadzik that locked up there?
Couldn't see any signs of maybe.
Oh,
there's your answer. That's Marcus Zukanovic. That was the lockup. They're at the other side of the gravel trap there in turn one.
Rejoins right in the middle of this ferocious pack. He'll be just on the left-hand side of Tilly. He'll be looking for the cut back, the crisscross, and he's executed that to absolute perfection. Back up the inside, back down through the gearbox, and takes that position. That was that really does show how strong the crisscross is and what happens when you can use the full width of the tarmac. So Tilly moves up. Tony Karamfalowski down at turn number 1. The number 88 Mustang. We haven't seen too much of him this weekend, but he wouldn't want us to see his car facing backwards down there at turn number 1. Tony Kayan moved his way into the top 10, but that has come quickly unstuck there. Nice exit from Jamie Tilly. Besadzik moving to the inside of the road, trying to crown out the Mustang, and did so successfully there. Holds on, but takes a compromise line into turn 13. He's got a huge train of cars behind him now as Jamie Tilly, he's run wide because there's a car up the inside. It's the XD Falcon of Zukanovic as Tilly runs off the road through the grass. Oh, is there a problem? Is there a problem for Tilly? No, it sounds all right.
They were really close on the exit. They managed to come out the other side all right.
We've gone safety car.
Safety car.
Hender's gone off as well.
That's the Pearsdale entry that's parked up another one of the Tiranas.
That's at turn 3, I think. So we went safety car there. I didn't notice that, but as soon as Tilly started to significantly slow, I thought something must be up. We've only got 2 minutes and 50 seconds, and we've got a couple of cars that we need to clean up. So
yeah, time's ticking down a bit too, Dan. So this may even finish out the safety car, depending on how quickly we can get this stranded car. So the Pearsdale plant hire entry down there. It's David Hender running in the Pro Sport class here, as he's done for the series. And it's come to a grinding halt. One of the many Tiranas that are involved with this field at this meeting. There's been quite a lot of numbers of Tiranas. Gee, they've become popular. I mentioned that earlier. The recovery crew is right on it.
Certainly.
They've got that toe strap on straight away. They're not messing around here. Trying to get it back under racing conditions.
That's good news. As you see, that car is about to be towed. Peter Burnett out there in the number 12 Tirana in position number 11. But let's run you through the current order, the current state of play with a couple of minutes to go in this race. Joel Heinrich is leading the way, the local South Aussie at the front of the field. Man, can that man drive anything he's put behind the wheel of. He was racing in the wingless slicks last weekend in at the Adelaide 500 on the brand new Napa Speedway. What a brilliant introduction and new idea for the Adelaide 500, and it was a huge success.
The headed car up and firing here, which is good news.
Certainly is. Go back to Heinrich again. Not only was he racing in the wingless slicks, he was also racing as well in other categories. He's, of course, a national champion in Aussie racing cars, a national champion in saloon cars. In fact, the reigning saloon car champion. So he can drive absolutely anything. Can Joel Heinrich?
There's a big mantelpiece of trophies behind him.
Oh, certainly.
There's a lot of trophies involved there.
Dad Bruce Heinrich as well in saloon cars, also in HQ racing as well. Yeah, the Heinrichs, both of them legends of Australian motorsport. The man in second though, Adam Garwood, yeah, looks like, well, he did seal the deal earlier on, provisionally the Touring Car Masters champion of 2024, and he's going to put that even further to bed in this one. We might be able to squeeze in one more lap potentially here, but we'll just see as they head into the penultimate corner.
It looks like the safety car lights are out too. So it looks like we might get a one-lap dash in here, Dan.
Which is absolutely fantastic news if that's the case. We'll see if a checkered flag is going to greet us or a green flag as we're on board with the man who has wrapped up the title here today. He's got Danny Bzadzik, Jamie Tilley and Marcus Ukanovic behind, and it's green. And he's gone early as Joel Heinrich. Garwood got on the throttle and immediately burst into wheel spin. It's effectively gone majorly onto the pit straight, so Bzadzik slides up the inside, coming onto the straight. If he can brake late, he will take second position from the Commodore, the flame-spitting Commodore, but Garwood, brave youngster, holds it around the outside, or sideways through turn 2, and holds on to the position. Jamie Tilley just behind has got through on Marcus Ukanovic on the restart. Cameron Tilley, Andrew Fisher and Ryan Hansford rounding out the top 10 as they come out of the turn up the inside. It's going to be a second overtake of the lap for Jamie Tilley, but he's in too deep. He's in far too deep, and there's contact. There's a little bit of contact between the two of them. Zukanovic's going to get a position. Oh, look at the smoke, though, coming out the back of the XD Falcon. That is not running particularly nicely out there on the circuit.
Underneath the bottom of the car, too. Oh, that's oil. See that?
Yeah.
There was an oil splatter that came up on the windscreen there of their Mustang. So that XD Falcon's in big trouble.
The good news is it's only got about 2 kilometres left of not only the race, not only the round, but the season.
You can see it. See how the car's reacting. It's putting oil underneath its own rubber there. You see how the car's squirming all over the track. So that's big trouble for Academy. He's got to get through
he's
possibly
wide.
the last lap.
It's gone. It's gone. It's given up. It's given up. There's no more smoke coming out, or very limited. That car is giving up, I think, for Marcus Ukanovic. What a shame. He took a race victory last time out at Sandown, his first of the season, but this has been one to forget for the Falcon driver. Out in front, though, Joel Heinrich has not put a foot wrong all weekend long. He's going to take the first and only clean sweep of the season. A dominant display for Joel Heinrich at home in South Australia. But the man behind him, Adam Garwood, is a Touring Car Masters champion. A brilliant job from the Tasmanian to take out the title. Pure consistency delivers him the title. He joins many of the greats, John Bowe, Jim Richards, Gavin Bullis, just to name a few that have taken titles in this series. And there's some victory donuts. Ah, fantastic.
Let's go. Oh, they're not going to show us. Here we go. He's on board. You get the burnout happening as he takes out Touring Car Masters in 2024. Nice job. Oh, doing a bit of drifting as well, if you don't mind.
Thoroughly deserved for him. 4 race victories this year, more than any other driver. Taking a couple of race victories in Perth, a win in Darwin, and a win as well in Sandown. And then from there, it really was just a case of bringing the title home this weekend, and that is exactly what he did. Pro-Am winner, taking out the outright category in Touring Car Masters. That has not been done for a very, very, very long time. So a huge kudos to him for doing that. But Gavin Bullis, Steve Mason took the inaugural title, Jim Richards, a 2-time champion, John Bowe, Stephen Johnson, Adam Bressington was leading the championship when COVID hit in 2020, and of course Ryan Hansford as well in 2022. So we have a new Touring Car Masters champion here in 2024. Adam Garwood taking it in the Commodore, and notably as well, Mark, the first victory, or first championship victory for Holden Commodores in the Touring Car Masters.
Exactly right. So it is a pivotal moment in the championship. And Garwood comes back, and there'll be big celebrations in the main complex when he comes back. And he's about to do that now. Bring that Commodore back into sight. Once he comes around, how about it for your new national champion there, Adam Garwood. We've got on-board pictures with him at the moment. He's just waving, acknowledging the officials down there at the turn.
Now we go drifting. through the fishbowl.
Down there.
Good stuff, good stuff. And as well as being a very good race driver, he's now showed that he can also perform donuts, and he's potentially got a career as a drifting driver as well.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Yes.
I think they can all do that. There he goes. What's the lock there?
Absolutely delighted. A really nice family are the Garwoods. I'm absolutely thrilled for them to take the title here this year.
Here he comes. Comes back in to pin, and that will be it.
The Devilon Equipment sponsored Commodore makes his way into the lane and back into the paddock. It's been a superb season for him, and as we say, a thoroughly deserved champion. Well done to Adam Garwood, 2024 Touring Car Masters champion. He comes to a stop. His team are there immediately to congratulate him. We're going to take a quick break in commentary. He's jumping out to celebrate with his team, rightfully so. We're going to take a quick break in commentary. There's a little lunch break before we are on with the 777 Endurance Crown. The 4-hour long-distance endurance race will be back on the other side of this.